Amber, when the floodwaters came, what was swept away in many of those places changed the fabric of those communities forever.
It certainly did. And in Whitesburg, flooding took with it Appalachian history stored in an iconic building known as Appalshop. It is a nonprofit that has been collecting, storing, and preserving life in the mountains for decades. And last July destroyed Appalshop. But as I recently found out, it certainly won't stop it. Sitting just off the banks of the North Fork of the Kentucky River near downtown Whitesburg is Appalshop.
We're here to tell people stories.
From the outside, it looks virtually untouched, anchored as it always has been with the river rolling by.
So the first floor was heavily damaged from the floodwaters. It was 6.5 feet inside, and it looks nothing like what it did.
Last July, Appalshop, a place that since 1969 has worked to tell the stories of Appalachia through art, film, and music, found itself an island among the floodwaters. Daryl Royce is the financial director for Appalshop.
So the upstairs, it's like a forgotten land almost. You walk up, the floodwaters went to the 8th step.
But it was everything below that the floodwaters ravaged, including the theater, radio station WMMT, and countless Appalachian archives.
The Appalshop was the largest repository of audiovisual materials of Central Appalachia, right? We have a lot of sound recordings, film recordings, B-roll of just being out recording folks throughout our history.
A year later, the building is unsafe to enter. What could be saved of the archives from the mud have now been shipped off to specialists across the country for saving. Royce says Appalshop is now looking at its own long-term recovery plan, and this life-altering weather event also has them thinking about the next story they need to tell.
Things are changing on the planet. We don't always know why, but we just know that they're changing. And so we have to figure out a way to inform folks that, hey, you've got to be making some changes in your daily life over time to be able to handle these changing conditions.
There is still life at the old Appalshop building.
Let the fires burn tonight.
In the form of a new WMMT radio station on wheels in this RV.
We wanted to acknowledge that we need to be mobile. We have volunteer DJs that DJ throughout the day and sometimes the night. We try to do full week programming.
As the sounds of the mountains play on, the work here at Appalshop will continue. There is a decision to be made on the future of this building, sitting on a river that destroyed it. But there's also a keen awareness to be a model for those around them in moving forward.
Part of it is being a model, but also being a partner, right? Not just showing how it can be done, but joining in with the community and saying we can do this together.